probably gonna be to the long park. We're gonna find.
You know what would be awesome? If you hit the recommend button and share this map with your friends. Thanks.
Okay guys, so right now we're gonna be focusing on aim. As you guys can see, we're gonna be shooting some moving targets right over here. Some fucking guys, he's running like one pipsqueak. Anyways guys, let me just go ahead and test my aim, warm up a little bit. It's in the middle of the night, it's almost 1 in the morning pretty much, and my aim is not doing so good. So let's just go ahead and focus. So I just got back guys from watching Toy Story 5. So that was pretty cool. I think that I just was playing like other games too. I was playing Uncharted and shit, recording some content, but yeah, it's like in the middle of the night. But yeah, my whole day I just had to run errands, drop off my girl from her for work. I was up all morning working, editing, and then nighttime I did some content, or not content. I watched Toy Story 5 with the fam. And tomorrow I'm gonna be going out again at night. And I'm gonna be watching this martial arts movie called The Furious. So go ahead, check that shit out, guys. Oh yeah, and like, I didn't do this on purpose, but I was like, oh what? I have my Buzz Lightyear skin and shit. My boy Hank got me this like a month ago or some shit, or like April or something, when it was in the item shop. I was like, oh shit, I just watched Toy Story 5 too. Got Buzz Lightyear, yes sir. Yeah, but for me guys, what's your guys' favorite Toy Story movie? Because I was born in 2002. I think the first Toy Story movie that came out was late 90s, right? 1990 something. So I wasn't even born yet. 2000, I think Toy Story 2 came out early 2000s, I believe. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on it. But then the only Toy Story that I really, because I watched Toy Story 1 and 2. But the one that I was really aware of when it came out, like I was alive at the time, was Toy Story 3. And that was like years later after the second one. It came out in 2010. I remember I watched it with my grandma, who already passed away. That's crazy. But she took me there. I was in 2010, I was like 7 years old or something. 7 or 8 years old. I think it was 7. It must have came out during summer 2010. And I went with my grandma, my auntie them, and my cousins. And I think my little sister too at that time. Yeah, I think so. And we watched it in the movies. And I remember I was like, oh fuck, like that was a good Toy Story movie, Toy Story 3. And I think that was one of my favorite ones. And maybe I'm biased because I wasn't alive when Toy Story 1 and 2 came out. So I would watch it on the TV or like on cable whenever it came on, or on DVD or the VHS, whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? Like bro, like all these little kids nowadays, they don't even know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 2000s baby. But even me, like that's still kind of like I'm too young to know what VHS is and stuff. But man, these kids born in 2010 and so forth. Oh, you guys, it's like a blessing and curse you grow up in this day and age. And so for me, guys, I feel like being born in the 2000s, at least the early 2000s, you got a mix of what life was like before the technology and social media and brain rot era. And then also you got a glimpse of the rise of, you know, social media and technology and like iPhones and video games. Like I witnessed everything, guys. I witnessed MySpace. I witnessed Tumblr. I witnessed LimeWire. I witnessed iPods. I witnessed computers and PCs. I was here when PS1, PS2 came, PS3, Xbox 360s. You know, the rise of Instagram, you know, Flappy Birds. It was crazy, guys. You know, freaking Musical.ly, TikTok, Kick, Uvu, FaceTime, video games, OG Fortnite, Minecraft, RuneScape, OG COD, Resident Evil, but you know, not even just video games that like, you know, entertainment wise, but just, you know, in general, you know what I'm saying, politics, world, everything was so different back then, you know. So I don't know why I'm yapping while I'm playing some shooting stuff right now, but I guess it's keeping me relaxed. But for me, guys, Toy Story 10, Toy Story 10, Toy Story 3 in 2010, it just had the perfect story. Nostalgia too. Now, Toy Story 4 came out in 2019. 2019, I was a senior in high school. And I was playing sports, doing training, playing football, doing combat sports, running, swimming, biathlons. I was working my first job. I was going to church on the weekends. I was in a private school taking college credit courses, and life was busy as hell. I didn't watch Toy Story 4 in 2019. I watched it in 2022. Summer 2022, I got sick with a bad stomach virus, and I was 19 years old, and I was working about 3 jobs, and I had to stay home for 2 months because I was that sick. So, middle to end of July, I was getting better because I was taking holistic medicines and stuff, but I remember I was like trying to prepare. I was about to go back to work in August, right? And so like middle to end of July, I was like, shit, I better get better. And so I was taking my supplements, and I remember one night, I would stay up all the way to like 3, 4 in the morning for some reason. I don't know why. And then I would just be on the toilet taking a shit and trying to, you know, drink prune juice and shit like that. And I remember I was on the toilet for some reason, and it was like 1, 2 in the morning, or 12 something in the morning, like right now. Because right now, when I'm recording this bit, it's 1:04 in the morning. And I was taking the Dukes, right? And when I was taking the Dukes, I was like, I had Disney Plus on my phone. I was like, I want to watch Toy Story 4. So I was on the toilet for about 2 hours, like an hour and a half or something, however long the movie was. I didn't realize how long I was on the toilet. I was like, bro, I'm like almost finished with the movie. I should probably get off the toilet. So I kind of like, I remember a little bit of the story, but I don't remember exactly. All I remember was Woody and Bo Peep and Forky, that dumbass and shit. And what else is there? Like, let me go. Sniper tracking.
If you think this map is great, hit that recommend button. It shares it with your friends, and we would really appreciate it.
No, I like the other map. I'm gonna go change the map, guys. This map sucks ass. No offense. But I remember that was the only time I watched Toy Story 4. And then, you know, Toy Story 5 just came out like a week ago, and yeah, went to the movies earlier, like a couple hours ago. Watched it with the fam, and it was alright. Like, to be honest, guys, Toy Story 5 wasn't the best. Like, I don't know. It was an interesting concept about toys versus technology, especially with now, you know. They should do toys versus stupid brain rot shit. Toys versus brain rot. Oh, how's that? Toys versus brain rot. But, I don't know. Like, there was, like, some, like, Toy Story, like, Disney series, like, mini episodes after Toy Story 3 came out. I think it was on Disney Channel. And it was, like, pretty much, like, the life of Woody, Buzz, and all the other toys, and you know how life was like after Andy and when they went with Bonnie, and then they had like different episodes based on it. And of course the episodes wasn't as big as a movie, but it was like small little stories. And it just felt like it felt like that. The Toy Story 5 felt like an episode on Disney. Like, it wasn't like a main story, like, oh, it's a movie. Like, it was, I don't know, man. It just didn't feel like how it was. Okay, I think this is the one that I want to try. But yeah, I was like, what? The movie ended already? It just didn't fulfill me. I don't know. Maybe I'm older now. I don't know. I'm 23 now. You know, maybe I'm more mature. I'm not a kid no more, right? But I don't know, man. But tomorrow, guys, we're gonna be watching at nighttime. We're gonna be watching this martial arts movie called The Furious. And I'm a big martial arts fan. I love combat sports. I love training. I want to get back into boxing. I want to do Muay Thai soon. But I love watching, growing up too, watched a lot of martial arts film. One of my favorite martial arts movies, I know a lot of you guys like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li. I grew up watching them too, but I'm too young to really like remember. I would watch it like once in a while, but you know, that wasn't my time. You know, I'm too young for that shit. I wasn't born in the 80s, 90s and shit. Okay, let's go to aim. This is not even a map, bro. Like, I wanted to do the other maps. Like, there's this other cool map that had aims and shit. So let me go try and find that real quick. Let me go sip some water, bro. Talking planning at 1 in the morning. fucking, what the fuck is that? 6kGaming? Shut your ass up. How do you find your favorites, guys? Favorites? How come you can't find favorites? Oh, we did it? I can't fucking tell, bro. I think gotta be this one. Let me try this one. I really don't know, to be honest. Let's go to the maps. But I'm a big martial arts movie fan, and I think one of my favorite movies, martial arts franchises, is Ong Bak. It's a Thailand Muay Thai kind of film, and there's 3 movies on Ong Bak. The first one was I forget when it came out, but I was a kid when it came out, and it's pretty much like, I think his name is Ting or something. Tony Jaa plays him. Look him up. But Ting was he's, you know, in Thailand, and then they had like their god, right? The statue. I forget what the god name is. I don't want to say it because I don't know if it's the right name. But the god, the statue, someone stole the head of the statue, I think. And so the whole movie was about Ting, and he went with this other guy. I think it was his friend, Humle, some fucking nerd. He's like, Humle, bro, this is not even a map, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? There's this good map that I wanted to play, guys. It was super good. But anyways, whatever. I'm gonna play this. But let's go. Quick shot? Okay, quick shot. You gotta practice them aim. Where do I go? Okay, let me stand right here. So Humle, Ting, and then this other chick, Humle's friend or some shit. The whole movie, I forget the plot already, but the whole movie was them 3 were trying to find where the statue is, the head of the statue. And they fight like these freaking gangs and shit, and they fight and do martial arts, and it's a pretty cool movie. The fight scenes is good. And then Ong Bak 2, I think that was my favorite Ong Bak movie, because it was set in the Ong Bak universe, but same Tony Jaa guy, the same actor for Humle, but they were playing different characters. And it takes place like in freaking, I don't know if it's medieval times, but it was like old, like it was like way before Ong Bak 1. It was kind of like a prequel of, you know, Ong Bak and shit, and it was like they had like swords and like martial arts and like spears and soldiers. And I forget the plot too, but there's a bunch. The ending of Ong Bak 2, they were scrapping and fucking, like, it was the longest ending fight scene I've ever seen. Like, you kids nowadays think Hollywood martial arts films like Avengers and like Captain America and like all these Fast and the Furious movies are like, John Wick is a pretty, like, I'm gonna admit, John Wick is fucking badass, like, especially made from Hollywood. But you guys think Matrix and John Wick is badass and shit, and like Equalizer and Captain America fight scenes and shit. Bro, you gotta check on Ong Bak 2. That was a badass ending. Ong Bak 3 was decent. It wasn't the best, but it was alright. Ong Bak 2 was my favorite. And then, of course, more movies from Tony Jaa. I like Protector. It was about Tony Jaa. His elephant got stolen or some shit. So the whole movie was him trying to rescue his elephant. So I was like, oh shit, there we go. Yeah. They made Protector 2. And of course, guys, I think what beats Ong Bak, guys, is The Raid. It's an Indonesian martial arts movie. The first movie that came out with The Raid Part 1, I think it was 2011. I remember I was watching them at my uncle's house when I was a kid. And I was like, oh, fuck, it was a rated R movie. It was bloody. Not super bloody, but, you know, they're like machetes and shit. But I forget the plot of it, but the main guy, I forget how you say his name though, frick. Aiko, I don't know how to pronounce, I don't like butcher his name, but it's something like that. Go look up his name. He's a good fighter, good martial arts guy too. Yeah, other movies too, Headshot and some other shit. But he's known for The Raid, bro. He's badass. But a group of soldiers, right? They go into like this building, and I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to stop drug cartels or like freaking a gang, and they go into this building, and The whole movie, they get trapped in a building because they're like fucking getting chased by the gang members, and you know they run out of guns and bullets. So the whole time they're like scrapping with martial arts and shit, and it was pretty badass. Raid 2 was badasser. That came on 2014. If you watch the ending of Raid 2, the final fight scene, that shit was like 1v1 fight. And that shit was like, whoo! I remember the first time I watched it was at my grandma's house. It was July 4th. And I was with my uncle, my cousins, my grandmother, and my aunties. And then we went down to my grandma's house. And we slept over at my grandma's house on July 4th. So, you know, we was having fun, we was swimming at the pool, we was barbecuing. And at nighttime, we set up a small little TV outside in the garage. And we hooked up the PS3 in the TV in the garage. And then they download like movies online and shit. Like, I don't know if that was like illegal kind of shit, but you know. Somehow we had the Raid 1 or Raid 2, and then we watched it on TV, and we watched the final fight scene. And I was like tripping ass, bro, because we was eating ice cream, we was watching the movie. I was like, oh fuck, that was badass. My other favorite movies, I like Mortal Kombat, I like Street Fighter. There's this other good movie, I watched it in 2014, it's called Die Fighting. And it's a guy played by Fabian Garcia. And it's not super mainstream, but it was kind of like an indie movie, I'll say. And it was like low budget, but it was a good story, and the fightings are so badass. But the ratings are so low, it's like a 5 out of 10. I don't know why. But that was a good movie, bro. I enjoyed Die Fighting. Ah, what else movies? Fuck, I can't think right now. Die Fighting. I forget what else childhood movies I used to watch. Well, the most recent martial arts movie I think I watched was some Jason Statham movies. Like every year, like the past years, there was always like a Jason Statham movie. I watched The Beekeeper in 2024. Last year I watched A Working Man with Jason Statham. Expendables, like the Expendables series was like they had Jason Statham and Tony Jaa in Expendables 4 and the guy from the Raid, and they had some decent fight scenes, but it wasn't as like, it was just like Hollywood down, like, you know what I'm saying, like you can tell Hollywood is so choreographed. It looks like they're dancing instead of scrapping. John Wick 4 was fucking badass. Wasn't really martial arts, but you know, like guns and shit. But The Furious just came out last year, I think, but only now in the United States they released it. So I think it was in the movies for like a good month or so, a month and a half, I don't know. But I think it's gonna leave the theater soon, so like we go watch that shit, bro. It's played by Joe Taslim or something. I don't know how you say his name, but he was also in the Raid, and he played Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat and some other movies. But I was like, oh frick yeah. The Ip Man movies was good. Ip Man 1, Ip Man 2, Ip Man 3. I remember watching, I don't know if it's Ip Man 3, but I think it was 2016. I watched Ip Man in the movies, and it was like Tuesday night, and I watched them with my dad then. And I think Mike Tyson was in, was it Ip Man 3? Had a whole fight scene with Ip Man versus Mike Tyson. And Ip Man is, he does Wing Chun now. Is that how you say it? Wing Chun? I was like, oh brother, gee. It was like Wing Chun versus Mike Tyson. He was boxing. And Ip Man is based on a real story, I think. Karate Kid is alright. It wasn't like the best fighting. I can't remember what else movies, bro, but that's some good ass movies, bro. Martial arts, man. But for me, guys, I like action fighting movies, but I'm a big fan of thriller. I love psychological thrillers. I love dystopian thrillers. I like end of the world thrillers. I like zombie apocalypse thrillers like The Walking Dead. It's good shit, bro. Okay, let's go switch what we're doing. Let's go Angel. Oh shit. What guns is this, bro? Can you change your guns? This gun sucks. Okay. Let us try. I want this. I want an AR. Okay, let me try this. Okay, let's go Angles. Sorry if I'm yapping, guys. I'm gonna make a whole series where I just yap and train. That's what the channel's for, you know? Cool, yap and train. Why not, Well, for me, guys, my plan in life is, because I'm 23, but when I was in high school already, I went to a good private school, and I experienced the best of both worlds. I grew up in the ghetto, I grew up in the poor, I didn't grow up privileged. I grew up blessed because I have the basic necessities in order for me to improve my life, right? I have a roof over my head, I have family, I have food, water, a bed to sleep in, I have pets, I went to church on the weekends. I grew up with God. I went to a good private school to get good educations and academics, and I learned a lot of things in school, not just like educational wise, but I learned a lot of life lessons. I did a lot of physical activities. I played a lot of different sports. And outside of school, I just, I went through a lot of struggles, but I also wasn't, I was fortunate enough to have the basic things in life to where, I had transportation, I had school, I had shelter, I had electricity. At one point in my life, I just was playing Fortnite in 2018, being a slacker. I had the privilege to do all those things, so I was privileged as a kid, right? But I wasn't, spoiled, I would say. Because when I went to a private school, all the kids, mommy and daddy did everything for them. I remember senior year, mommy and daddy was buying, all these senior kids. I didn't have my driver's license in high school, right? I only got it when I was, 19, 4 years ago. But kids was getting their license, and they would pull up to school with Teslas and Mercedes and high expensive cars, the newest Hondas and Toyotas, BMWs, freaking all these high end cars, bro. New cars too, cost $20, $30, $40, $50,000, right? The kid didn't pay for it, mommy and daddy did, but they were so spoiled to the point where they had cars, they had nice homes, they didn't know what it's like to struggle, right? And even their mentality. I always tell this story, but I remember senior year in 2019, sorry. December 2019, a day before Christmas break. Every December, right? I think it was December 18 or December 19. Our private school was founded by this Hawaiian lady, right? And pretty much she was the founder of the private school. She had so much money, she had so many land, she had so many wealth, and she decided that her will, right, before she died, she wanted to create a school for Hawaiian people, Hawaiian kids. And so that's how the school was born to be. It's a private Hawaiian school. And the thing is, guys, right, you're like, whoa, you went to a private school, you wasn't poor. I'm not poor, we didn't have no money to the point where you're fucking on the streets. But we wasn't rich financially. We was only making less than 6 figures a year. I think with my mom and dad, they probably made 6 figures in total combined. But bro, some parents in my private school, they were making 6 figures per parent. And I'm not talking about 100K. I'm talking about more than 100, 500K a year. That was only for one parent. Another parent was making fucking another 500K. They had nice homes. Hawaii's expensive, so you know what I'm saying? They were balling in Hawaii, brand, and they had beautiful homes. I remember in elementary, I would go to my childhood friends' homes, and they would be in the rich side. I'd be like, oh, bruh. They were balling in Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, even the mentality, they were oh, how I have conversations with the private school kids. That's why I didn't really fit in school. Because the conversations that they had was oh, I have to play video games when I go home. Oh, I have to worry about homework. They didn't know what it's like to struggle. That was their problems. But look at my aim, bro. Shush. But their problems was so different from mine. And just the whole entitlement and oh, mommy and daddy gonna come save the day and give you everything. So I remember we had a Founders Day thing, and Founders Day was the last day before Christmas break, and we finished final exams and everything. So Founders Day, we show up at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Founders Day was at 8 in the morning, and it'll be to 9 in the morning, right? And we'd have dress code requirements. In private school, we had dress code, okay? But for this last day, we had to dress in our dress white. So we had white pants, white shoes, white long sleeves, and we had to tie like a stash or something over us. I forget what it was. But we'd have to go to the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning. K to 12 will be down there. And in order to partake in it, you would have to be in dress code. If you're not in dress code, you're not partaking in it, and you will not graduate, because that's one of the graduation requirements from 9th to 12th grade. And pretty much, I remember I was sitting in the band hallway with one of my friends, this white boy, and it's funny because I was friends with like the private school had a plenty of white kids and Asian kids, despite it being in a Hawaiian school. Like, you would only have to be like 1% Hawaiian, and you have to try out, you have to take the test, and then if you get in, you get accepted, right? If you pass the test, you do like a regular, like a SAT kind of test. You pass, then you go to the second round, which is like a, like an interview kind of thing. Like, you'll have to talk, you have to, present yourself to one of the teachers, and if you pass an interview, you get into the school. So you have 2 stages of testing, right? So I passed in 4th grade. I got in 4th grade, and yeah. Now you're like, whoa, I thought private school you have to pay a good tuition, right? Like $5,000 a year or something, I don't know. Well, there's a way with that private school where if you make a certain amount of money, and if your parents make certain amount, like it doesn't hit like the quota, there's a way to where you can pay tuition cheaply. And our tuition per school year was only $100. So yeah, we didn't hit we wasn't making too much money to where you'd have to pay the full amount. So that was the benefits with the founders, that lady. Like, there's so much benefits. She made sure that she took care of her Hawaiian kids. You know what I'm saying? So I was blessed and fortunate. I got in, I got lucky. I don't even know how I passed the test. I'm pretty sure I was a fucking stupid kid in 4th grade. I got in though. And I made sure I didn't get kicked out. I made it, guys. Over a decade of going to that school, I survived. So I was fortunate enough to where, we didn't have to pay the full tuition for 4th to 12th grade. So yeah, it was good enough, man. My parents did their best. So yeah. Anyways, Founders Day come. I'm sitting in the band hallway. Asian kid across from me. He's like, oh my gosh, I forgot my shoes. He's like looking through his duffel bag, and he's like, he realizes that he forgot his shoes. So what he does is he calls his mom, and he starts yelling at her. He's like, Mom, you better leave your job right now. I don't care if you're at work. I don't care if you're going to be stuck in traffic. You better go back home, leave your job, tell your boss that you're going to be late, or you're going to leave and you're going to walk out, and you better rush home, get my pair of shoes, and you better get right now over here to the school before 8 in the morning. Mind you guys, it was already 7:30, and traffic in Hawaii is bad. To commute to like the west side of Hawaii to like east side, which is town side, takes like an hour every single day or more. You know what I'm saying? And there's bad traffic. It's very congested on this small island. And this kid, he lived in the west side. So to go from east side to west side would take another hour, 2 hours or some shit. Then to get to the campus would take another hour or so, and then, get to work is another hour. So he's pretty much screwed. Now he's swearing at her. He's cursing at her. The mom is obviously saying, son, I cannot come, I'm going to be late. I can't just leave, walk out of work. And even if she did, like, realistically, she wouldn't make it by 8 in the morning to get the dress shoes to him. So he's crying, bro. Like, he had tears coming down his face, and he's yelling. He's raising his voice. Like, I can't yell right now because my voice is like kind of hoarse. But he's like, fuck you then, mom. F you then. Like, he's yelling at his mom. He's saying F you to his mom. And he's screaming at the top of his lungs. He then hangs up on his mom. He calls his dad, who's at work. Dad, you better come and get my shoes right now. I don't care if you're at your job. You better leave. You better go ahead and pick up my shoes, and you better be here by 8 in the morning. I don't care what your excuse is. You better be here. Dad is like, I can't come, son. I'm at work. Realistically, even if I wanted to come, traffic is bad. And the kid, he wasn't on speakerphone, but you know how, like, the volume is so loud on your phone, you could kind of hear like the person on the other end through the volume. So I could kind of hear what the dad was saying, and he's like, "No, son, I cannot." He was talking like on pussy too. He's like, "Son, no, I can't." And instead of saying, "Hey, son, you better shut the fuck up before I come, I'm gonna beat your ass." You don't talk to your dad like that. Like, who you think you are? I pay the bills over here. I'm the one who making money. I'm the one who put your fucking ass in this private school. So you better shut the hell up and you better listen, boy. You better have some respect. The dad was like, he's talking like a little pussy, right? He's like, "Son, no, son, you know, I cannot leave work, you know." He's being like a little pussy, right? So the son was like bitching his dad around. He's like, "Dad, no, you better come over here." And then the dad was like, "No, I cannot." So the son was like, the Asian kid was like, "Fuck you then, F you dad." He screamed at the top of his lungs. And he had the nerve too to say, he's like, "You know what, dad? If it's your guys' fault. It's your mom's dad's fault. If you weren't telling me to do chores last night and telling me to help my little brother, then I wouldn't have forgotten my shoes." Wow, what a way to take accountability, yeah, Asian boy. So Jackie Chan was getting all pissy and he was blaming his parents for his fault for missing his shoes. And he wasn't taking accountability. He hangs up the phone, he starts fucking yelling and tantruming like a little queer. Or like a, sorry guys, a little crybaby. And he just was raging. And there's this other freaking band teacher, this Asian other guy. He walks out and he hears this Asian kid screaming at the top of his lungs. And instead of saying, "Hey, stop talking to your parents like that," or "You better watch your tone, stop swearing, get other people around here," the Asian fucking band teacher, he got so scared. He's like his face was like like a little like freaking mahu, bro. And he just walked away like he didn't know what to say. And then I was like, "Bro, what kind of masculine male role models is this? One dad getting bitched around by his son, one little freaking Asian boy screaming, bitching to his parents and throwing tantrums because he forgot his shoes. And then one band teacher, he walking out of the band room and he never like correct the student and tell him, 'Hey bro, calm your voice down. None of my business what you say to your parents, but stop yelling at the top of your lungs and swearing and cursing.'" Like, bro, if I was a teacher, I would knock that kid's ass out. You know what I'm saying? Old school discipline. But anyways, short story short, I don't know, he walked out, me and my white friend, we went down to the assembly. We had to walk down to the gym, 5 minutes down. And then after that, we were lining up, seniors are lining up, and we had to walk out for the assembly. And then I turn around, I see the Asian kid, he's smiling. He had his shoes, but it was in front of his parents. He went to the office and the hot office lady, she gave him like an extra pair of shoes that she had. So he was happy, he's like, freaking stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it reminded me of those kids, like, you know how like those tantrum ass little kids, they tantrum, "Mommy, Daddy, give me an iPad." They cry, they bitch, they put on a whole persona like, "Oh," and then when the parent gives in, they're like, "Okay, here son, here's your iPad." Then they're like happy and smiley after like a little freaking panty ass boy. Remind me of that, bro. We were 17 at that time, you know, almost an 18-year-old legal adult. And this guy, this freaking Asian guy was just screaming. But that's what I talk about, guys. That's what you talk about, spoiled. So for me, it's like, I had the best of both worlds, guys. I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in the poor. I grew up in, you know, the just around people who, you know, they struggled, but then also not only just struggled, but they thought that was their life forever. They had this whole programming in the ghetto to where, yeah, it's okay to be ghetto for like, and being ghetto means to me is like not wanting better, not wanting to improve your mindset, always swearing, cursing at your parents, and, you know, dressing, you know, acting like trash. You know, just stupidity, bro. Not wanting to improve your life in every way possible. I grew up with people like that, and doing drugs and drinking, smoking, fighting, not taking life serious, and, you know, just not wanting to improve, not maturing. And that's to me, that was me growing up in the ghetto. Then when I went to school Monday to Fridays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., I was with privileged kids, and those kids were entitled and spoiled, and I was in the middle. Because I didn't want to be like the stupid trash mentality that a lot of these kids was having in the ghetto. And I didn't want to be those entitled, spoiled kids that I went to school with. And so I had the best of both worlds. I feel like the best way to raise a kid is to raise them not as fortunate and not as rich and, you know, rich financially yet. I feel like the best way to teach kids and to gain life lessons and life attributes is to make sure that they grow up with not too much, not too little, not too much though. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's based on the parents too, like how they condition your kids to think. Because obviously I grew up with a lot of ghetto. I don't like using the word ghetto. I feel like ghetto is a ghetto word, but when I grew up with these other kids who didn't have much, the parents didn't teach them right from wrong, and the parents also they didn't also learn how to become mature. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because you paying the bills financially doesn't mean you're out here taking care of your kids. Doesn't mean you're teaching them a lot of valuable life lessons. Doesn't mean you're teaching them right and wrong. Doesn't mean you healed your trauma and your inner wounds and you're displaying, leading by example what it's like to become a better version of yourself. It doesn't mean shit. Because I know a lot of people who's adults who they don't even have their shit together. Not just financially, but even like in every realm possible. They're still living in the past. They still playing victim. They still have this whole victim mentality, like, oh yeah, because when I was in your age, I couldn't push myself because my parents would beat me up, and I grew up like poor, and they come up with a bunch of excuses as to why today, when they're 50, 60 years old, why they're not where they want to be in their life. They live in the past. They play victim. They blame people. They blame the government. They blame their parents. They blame a bully. They blame their education system. They blame whatever but themselves. They don't take accountability. Why don't you want to change your life now? What's stopping you from improving now? Why do you live in 1984? It doesn't matter. So I know a lot of people, they grow up victimized. They grow up where, oh yeah, this is it for the rest of my life. Oh yeah, I'm scared of making money. Oh, I have a fear of, oh, you gotta live paycheck to paycheck. This is how life is. Money is scarce. Money is bad. Oh yeah, like it's just, to me, it's like a lot of people, they grow up with such a conditioned mindset to where they don't know how to break that programming when they get to a certain age. And so when parents get to that certain age and they have children when they're young and they're freaking like that stupid ass mentality that they passed on from, their culture or from their parents, and, this whole generational curse. When they have kids, they pass that same stupid ass mindset and mentality onto their other kids. And that's why this whole cycle of dumb stupidityness just continues and continues. It's because my thinking is, guys, same thing with money. My whole mindset with money is you have to become rich as a person first before you become rich financially. Becoming rich as a person means you have to be the best version of yourself, or you have to be trying to become the best version of yourself. And in order for you to become the best version of yourself, you got to be trying to be actively actively become well-rounded in every aspect of your life, whether it be physical, mental, spiritual, your finances, your relationships with God, your family, your friends, your people, your fighting skills, your communication skills, your life attributes, your life lessons, your stories, your experiences. And when you focus on other things like that, you become richer as a person. You have more life lessons, you have more maturity, you have healed yourself, you're closer with God, you have more discipline, you have better speaking skills. You're taking your career and your money and your passion and purpose more serious in life. You have good relationships with God, your family, your friends, your children, your people, your grandma. You know your worth. You know your value. You have morals. You have integrity. You have compassion for one another. You're not selfish. And so when you're becoming rich as a person first, when you have money and you get rich financially, you are much more of that person that you are when you didn't have money. And so you have to become the man before you become the man with money, or the female with money, whatever that you are, right? But I'm a man. So you have to become a man before you become the man without money. You have to become the man before you become the man with money. And that's becoming rich as a person first. Because if you're maybe like nowadays you're a streamer, you're a content creator, and you get rich at a young age financially, like all these other YouTubers and people, e-commerce, and it's quick to get money nowadays, right? You can easily become rich financially with all these opportunities nowadays. That it's easy to get rich at a young age financially. And I feel like it's good and bad at the same time because obviously, right? Who doesn't want money? You can do so much with money, but money's not everything. But when you become rich financially quick at a young age, you skip a big portion of your life where you don't grow as a person and you don't become rich as a person because you're skipping 9 to 5 jobs, you're skipping training, you're skipping sports, you're skipping tests and trials, you're skipping going through hardships, you're skipping your emotional maturity and your spiritual maturity and your mental maturity, and you kind of just shortcut your way into having a lot of money. So when you're not rich as a person, you hang around and you get money at a young age, you hang around the wrong crowd. And you know, especially when it comes to content, because I'm a content creator, you become a stupid clown on the internet because you have nothing interesting to talk about. You don't have unique perspectives and opinions because you haven't had enough real life experiences to shape and mold your perspectives on things. You have no life skills, you have no experiences, you have nothing to talk about, you have nothing to teach. And so in order for you to get views and get money, you have to act like a clown because that's the only way you know that's how it's going to get your attention, because it's an attention-seeking economy nowadays, right? So you have to act like a clown. And that's why a lot of the mainstream content creators, I don't really care about these people. Like, I don't care to watch them and I don't care to collaborate with them because that's not my cup of tea. I don't care about acting like I can be funny, I can do clickbait titles and act stupid with Fortnite, but at the end of the day, that's not who I am, like, as a personality wise. Like, I love being mature, I love being serious, and I love talking about interesting deep interesting things, you know. So for me, it's like I don't really care, and I don't think it's a good thing to get rich super quick at a young age. But I say, if you really, like, for me, my perspective is I want to get quick rich. No, I don't want to get quick rich, but I want to get rich financially at a good age. Like, I'm 23, so I would say it's a good time now for me to get rich financially. And the reason why is because even though I'm young, right, I have matured quick. And from the past 2019, I would say that's when I started taking life more serious. When I was 16, I was still in high school, but that's when I started maturing. And that's when I started experiencing things. I started doing sports. I started doing combat sports. I started doing more training. I was in a private high school. I was doing more music. I was working multiple 9 to 5 jobs. I was working different kinds of jobs. I was trying to start businesses. I was traveling here and there. I went through a lot of hardships and tests and trials. I got sick with a stomach virus for 2 months, and I started my self-healing journey when it came to health. I just went through a lot of different things, and the past 7 years of my life was focused on maturity in every aspect of my life. So from 7 years, I just learned a lot of shit. And I experienced a lot of shit. Even before that 7 years, I did a lot of things. But, you know, I'm talking about, like, as a young adult. 7 years, I experienced a lot of life. And within 7 years, you can learn so much if you go out and you do a lot of things. Obviously, if you just stay home for 7 years and you play video games all day, you're not going to experience shit and you're not going to mature. So I matured quick within that amount of 7 years that it gave me a lot of, you know, maturity, a lot of experiences and skills and opinions and perspectives that I feel like now I'm to the point where I've went through the transformative years, right? Transformative years. And I feel like now I went through a lot of transformative things that now at 23 years old, going down to 24, I feel like I'm in the transitional years. Let me drink water. So the transitional years means it's a different life. I'm going to get more rich financially. I'm going to get more smarter. I'm going to get more mature. I might get more... I'm not trying to get famous, but I feel like the things that I'm doing, it might get me famous. So it's going to transition me into getting celebrity status. It's going to get me more famous. It's going to get me working with other different types of people. It's going to come with different... blessings, but also different tests and trials and problems that I never faced before I got rich financially. It's going to put me in different scenarios. I'm probably going to be traveling more, experiencing different countries and states. I'm probably going to have different opportunities to, you know, move out with my girl, maybe start a family soon and help retire my family and my parents, give them what they want. You know, it's going to give me different, it's going to put me into another whole perspective of life. And that's my transitional phase. But I feel like God was making me, Jesus was making me, in order for me to get to the transitional phase and enter the other side of my life, more money, more different things, different opportunities, more different problems and blessings. In order for me to handle that transitional phase and get me to the other side, I had to go through a bunch of years of transformative years to prepare me for that transition. And so I'm getting to the point where I feel like I already did a lot of transformation, that now I'm in the transitional phase, and I feel like that's very soon. I feel like with YouTube content, anything in my life, it's about to pop off very soon. And I'm prepared for it, I guess. There's always room for improvement, but I'm getting to the point where, yeah, I think it's that time. So, but if you're 23 or you're 22 and you haven't experienced life, you're not mature, you're hanging with the wrong crowd, you haven't done anything, outside of, just sitting home playing video games, don't get rich financially yet. Get mature first and then become rich financially. Okay? So, get out there into the world. The best way to mature, the best way to grow, work multiple 9-to-5 jobs, go to school, play sports, go training, join church, join extracurriculars, get out there into the world, do DIY projects, go traveling, go meet a girl, get your heart broken, fall in love, go have different friend groups, and then outgrow those friends, and then it's going to teach you a lot of different lessons. It's going to give you a lot of attributes. It's going to teach you about life. Go, like I promise you guys, just go out there, go out to the world. Fuck up, make mistakes, do it as research, learn from it. That's gonna make you more mature and make you, more well-rounded. But of course, guys, a lot of people, they fuck up in life and they still do the same thing. They know what the right and wrong thing to do is. It's just that the lesson that they learn in that situation that they screwed up in, they don't apply it into their life. So application is also key. Screw up once, but don't make that same mistake again. Learn the lesson from your screw up and then apply it right away so you mature quickly. So that's my best advice, guys. I'm in a transitional phase, and what I want to do is I want to make content. I want to do creativity stuff. Once I make good enough money with content, I want to transition into storytelling, more storytelling. So I want to write my own comics. I want to write my own books. I want to turn it into like movies and TV shows and stories. And so right now my side project is, while I'm doing YouTube and my everyday life, I'm already writing a bunch of stories and ideas of, things that I want to do in the future. So I'm writing like universes, bro, like zombie apocalypse. Like one of my main stories is I want to make like a Walking Dead universe, my own zombie apocalypse universe. So I'm writing stories, spin-offs, characters. I'm writing seasons of just content and stuff. Of course, guys, I want to make my own superhero franchise. That's going to be a big thing too. I want to make, there's just anything, bro. You can think of like thrillers, aliens, dinosaurs. Since I watched Toy Story 5, I wanted to make something where it revolved around pets. And I wanted to make like, life about pets and, make it emotional and good. And, I had all kinds of ideas. I think one of my ideas too is like, it's like kind of like a Silent Hill kind of franchise where like thriller, psychological, scary, horror. It makes you think. I do a lot of things. And then I also want to get into music, writing music, creating music, producing music. And then branch out. I want to make video games. It's all storytelling related. I want to make apps. I want to do entrepreneurship work. I want to do philanthropy. I want to help people. I want to do I want to get into like health wise too. Like I want to help health, like holistic health and stuff. And then eventually I want to get into, I don't know, man. I was thinking like maybe in my 40s I want to get into politics, but that was like a year ago I was thinking about that. But now I was like, I don't really care about politics, bro. Like I don't really give a fuck, bro. Like politics is rigged. Who gives a shit? Nothing you do is gonna change. It's like, you rather focus on things that you can change. And I feel like politics is like, who gives a frick already? To be honest, like I was so deep into politics like the other past years, when I was like 21, 22. I'm like, bro, I don't give a shit nowadays. I'm like, who gives a shit about? Yeah, I don't know. I might change my mind later, but I don't know, man. Whoa. Bro, what the frick? What's wrong with my aim? Yeah, got big plans. But like I said, man, transition phase. God is preparing me to handle that next life, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, serve my purpose in this world. So... Oh, I finally eliminated it. So yeah, man, that's my best advice. Okay, guys. Next is shotgun headshot. Try long range. Bro, these drills are nuts. What? Oh, I'm hungry for chili cheese fries. But my teeth right now, guys, is kind of sensitive because I did 3 weeks ago, June 1st. I did a composite filling on my front tooth because I chipped it. And then I did a cleaning. I haven't done a dentist cleaning for 7 years, bro. The last time I did it was I was 16 in 2019. Now I'm 23. The whole story to it though, I don't like dentists. The reason why is I don't like the x-ray and I gag a lot and no ditty. But I was like fucking trying to avoid dentists as long as I could. And I had like this hole in my, not a hole, but a gap in my teeth when I chipped my front tooth. So they had to do a composite filling, composite bonding, whatever that you call it. My gums are sensitive, my teeth's been sensitive. I was kind of paranoid about chewing on my front tooth because I heard that it could break off, but that shit lasts for maybe a decade or more. If you take care of your teeth, which I'm trying to do. I'm like, come here, boy. Okay. Let's see, what else can I do? Shotgun headshots. What? What the that? Oh, and apparently, guys, I have 9 cavities. Now, that's a whole different story, too. Okay? The whole yap session, I can talk about dentists. Okay? So, I did the stupid-ass x-ray on June 1st, right? To do my teeth. I had to do a panoramic x-ray where you bite your fucking front tooth onto this machine. And the machine spins around your head and it does a full x-ray. But then the dentist is like, oh, but you gotta do another x-ray. I'm like, oh, fucking A, right? So that x-ray was an old school x-ray, right? You put the bite chew inside of your mouth. You take, you put them in the back of your mouth. You put them in the front of your teeth. You put them on the side of your teeth. You put it in the back of your mouth on the other side. So you do like a couple shots, right? So every time, guys, when I was a kid growing up, I would always gag or feel like gagging when they put the x-ray on the back. Because what they do is they're like, say, so I'm like, and they put that shit all the way in the back where the back of your tongue is or something. And then they're like, okay, bite down. And they're like, bite the fuck down. And the thing is so big, and the thing is just like on the tongue, right? So when it's touching your tongue, it activates your gag reflex. So I'm like, ugh. And I'm like dry heaving, right? So when I did the X-ray, when I went to do my composite filling, right, my composite bonding, yeah, another young assistant, he was helping me, and I was like, oh, is there anything smaller to put in my mouth, right? Because that shit was big. My mouth, I can't open my mouth all the way too, right? You know, I'm not one girl, or you know, girls can fit shit in their mouth, but okay, what the hell? But he was trying to shove that shit in my mouth. And then he was like, okay, bite down. I was like, And every time, right, because the stupid ass assistant, they run out the room to press the picture because radiation, right? Oh, radiation. So they run out, they press the picture. But, like, that's only a couple seconds. But what that guy was doing was he was putting in my mouth, and then he was, the camera, you know, that machine that takes the picture, then he was adjusting it. And so the whole time he was trying to adjust it, like, and then I would spit out the X-ray. So I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm sorry, bro. And he's like, oh, it's cool, bro. It's so cool. So I'm like, okay, bro, can you, like, adjust the camera already so that when you put it in, I can, like, just suck it up and, like, just fucking run out and do it. So, okay, I'll do it quick. So the whole time we're trying to manage me, right? Because I'm like, hurry up. So I'm like, when he puts it in my mouth, I take a deep breath, especially the ones in the back. I'm like, he puts it in. I'm like, biting down. I'm like, trying to hold my breath. I'm like, come the fuck on. He presses it. Once he presses it, I spit it out, right? Like a fucking panty. Then he puts it in the other side of my mouth, and we do the X-ray. So the dentist, the lady, Filipino lady, she comes in. She's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do your composite bonding, but it looks like, you know, on the X-ray, you got 9 cavities. I'm like, 9 cavities? And she's like, oh, but majority of the cavities, or all of it, is pretty much in between your teeth. So they call it like interproximal cavity or something, where it's in between the teeth. So, you know, if you don't floss good, you don't, you know, do your flossing or whatever, the cavity grows in between the teeth, right? Because there's food, there's plaque, whatever, whatnot. So a lot of my cavities is pretty much is small cavities because I don't feel it. It's not puncturing in between in the enamel, and it's in between the teeth. Now, guys, I'm not a dentist lady or whatever that you call it, so don't quote me on this, all right? But based on my personal research and my information that I gathered, a lot of the in-between cavities is like pretty much small, and you don't really feel it because it hasn't even entered like the enamel and get inside, right? Because your tooth has structures and layers of it, right? There's like multiple layers, and the enamel is like the shield, right? It's if your enamel breaks or it gets thin, it can go into your teeth, or the germs and cavities can go into your teeth, and it can pretty much, you know, go into your dentin. Or how do you say that? I don't know. But pretty much once you start feeling like sore teeth and cold sensitivity, that means it's like near your nerve, and that's where, you know, that's a deeper cavity, and that's when you could do like a crown or like a root canal, you know, like get to the point where you're doing root canal. But I think based on my research, a lot of the interproximal cavities, however that you say it, I don't know if it's big or small, but to me, I feel like a lot of it's small based on my information and my intuition. Now, I'm going to say it's small because, first of all, the last time that I went to a dental cleaning was summer 2019, and I did a small little filling, and that was it. All right, that was the last time that I went to the dentist. 2020 comes, I'm supposed to go. I don't go to a dentist. I'm like, nah, frick that. I don't like dentists. 2021, I don't go to the dentist. 2022, I don't go to the dentist. But 2020 to 2022, I was kind of neglecting my oral health and just my health in general. I was working 2 jobs at the time, barely sleeping. And the jobs that I was working at Taco Bell Monday to Friday, right? I was working double shifts every single day, eating junk food, but also drinking a lot of acidic drinks like soda, fruit punch, drinks, but mainly soda, Slurpees, but a lot of sugary acidic drinks, right? That could damage your teeth. And then I'll eat a lot of junk food and a lot of sweets and cakes and desserts, and I just was like, freaking, that's all I did. Did this for 2 years straight. Weekends after working landscape, I'll go to fast food, get soda. I'll get free soda too from Taco Bell when I was working there, and I would grab a whole container of drinks. Like I'll grab like the cup container or the cup holder, fill up 4 large drinks of sodas and Slurpees, and I'll drink all of that, bro. It's freaking crazy. Anyways, I was wasting my teeth away. And then 2022, when I had the bad stomach virus, I had to change my diet around to take care of my stomach. So I stopped drinking soda. I started taking care of my health, and I wasn't drinking a lot of that and eating a lot of shit foods. And even in 2020 to 2022, like I would only brush my teeth in the morning, and then I come home so late in the night from work and just going out with the boys. I just would fall asleep, and I wouldn't brush my teeth. I wouldn't floss. I wouldn't do any of that. So I could understand that, years of buildup, it could cause cavities, but I never had sore teeth. I never had like holes in my teeth. I never had cracked tooths. So I would say that I kind of like arrested the cavity for a bit. And 2022 to 2025, I was changing my diet, and I was brushing my teeth more. I was doing more oral health. My cat, he's just staring at me. But yeah, oh yeah, so last year I chipped my enamel on the front tooth. I was eating kinds of shit foods, and the thing is, you're not supposed to brush your teeth right after you eat. And for 3 times a day, I would always eat and then brush my teeth after, because I like fresh breath and stuff. And like I would eat lunch in the middle of the day, and then I'd have to go run errands, and I have to pick up my girl or pick up my siblings. And when you go out, like stink breath, right? So I was like, I was eating foods, and eating smelly kind foods. So I was like, oh, I gotta brush my teeth. I'll scrape my tongue. So after I eat, I'll go brush my teeth right away. And apparently, and I was scrubbing my teeth super hard too. And I was scrubbing the part like where I had the chipped tooth, and like cause I chipped my tooth last year from eating chips and shit like that, and it kind of like made my enamel thin on the bottom left of my front right tooth. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just scrub it hard and make sure that it doesn't get dirty and no germs, and floss super hard and brushing my teeth after I eat. And I think that was like I was fucking up my teeth low key, because you're not supposed to brush your teeth after you eat and drink acidic drinks and stuff, especially after you eat. And you're not supposed to scrub super hard, because that could damage your enamel, right? And you're not supposed to floss super hard, because it could chip the tooth. So after a year, I think it just gave in, that thin enamel, and it fell off last month in May. And so I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta go to the dentist, bro. So I went to the dentist, and yeah. But for the cavities wise, I don't know, man. There's holistic ways, because I'm a very holistic person, right? I'm the non-traditional Western medicine way. I don't like going to the doctors. Never took my shots. Never took the COVID shots. Never took my flu shots. And I was always the type where, I go to the acupuncture every week. I take Chinese herbs. I take holistic medicines. I go to chiropractor. I do cupping. I do grounding. I eat natural foods. I go to Whole Foods. I drink water only. And now I'm like, if I'm doing holistic things with my body, I gotta do holistic things for my oral health. So I always do like non-fluoride toothpaste. I know a lot of you guys say, oh, fluoride is good, but I'm like, bro, fluoride is a neurochemical, neurotoxin. And even in holistic dentistry, you don't do mercury fillings, you don't do root canals, you don't take out your wisdom tooth. There's reasons why I can explain later on, but we don't believe that. And so, they use ozone therapy. They wait last minute to do a filling, and if they do the filling, they don't use mercury or all those kind of toxins. They use something else. They believe in gut therapy, because your gut, if you have bad gut, you could have like acid reflux, and it could go into your teeth and make your teeth more acidic and whatnot. There's all kinds of different things, right? But for me, I was like, okay, I gotta do holistic things. So I believe that holistic things, if your cavity is not bad, it could decrease your cavity from spreading, and it could arrest your cavity and stop it from growing, which is what holistic dentistry doctors do. They don't go, okay, you gotta drill your teeth and do fillings right away. If your cavity is manageable and I don't want to say preventable, but if it's manageable and there's a little cavity and shit that's not growing, you could stop it from growing, and you could maintain it. And the last resort is to do, fillings and root canals and shit and crowns. But the point is, you're not trying to get rid of your enamel and drill it and fuck it up and put chemicals in your body. That's the last resort. So for me, it's like, I don't know if the lady is trying to exaggerate, like, oh, you need to do it right away. I'm like, why? Like I went 7 years and I didn't have anything bad. Like my teeth still like there's no holes in it. It's not sore. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Like you guys can debate me on this, but I believe with my holistic ways of oral health, I can arrest the cavities. At least arrest it. Buy me some time. Um, but this is good. My plan of action is I'm doing these certain products that I'm using. This non-fluoride product that I always was taking from Whole Foods or this place called Down to Earth, which is like the Hawaii's Whole Foods kind of thing. I'm gonna do water flossing and flossing regularly to get the in between to prevent interproximal cavities, whatever I should call it. And then I started this good brand, bro. Uncle Harry's is super good for teeth. So I have the tooth powder for Uncle Harry's, the toothpaste for Uncle Harry's. I also have this thing called remineralized liquid, and what it does is you take it after you eat, and you pour like couple drops of the mineralized liquid into your mouth. You swish it for a good couple minutes, and what it does is it gives your enamel in your teeth, and it makes it stronger. It gives all the calcium, the magnesium, the vitamins, the vitamin K, C, D, your calcium, your phosphorus. I just said that. Your magnesium, whatever vitamins that you need and minerals that you need to protect your enamel and to make it stronger, it provides that when you swish it inside of that liquid. So you swish it, you spit it out, you let it rest a couple minutes, you let it, just no drink or eat for 30 minutes, you let the liquid mineralize, and then you let it do its job. I also have Uncle Harry's mouthwash where it kills all the bacteria and germs. And also, maybe 2 to 3 times a week, I do oil pulling. So you swish coconut oil in your mouth, it cleans bacteria, it cleans all the germs, it helps with sensitive teeth, and you do that a couple times a week or whenever, Coconut oil tastes gross though. I'm like, fuck, it's gross. And then, yeah, that's my little plan. Green tea is also good for killing bacteria. Eat good foods, take care of your gut so that you don't have acid reflux. They have probiotics for that, or I don't know, oral probiotics, whatever that you call it. And just keep up with your oral health. Try not to drink too much soda, beer, alcohol, stop smoking. I don't know, your daily lifestyle. But to me, it's like, I don't want to waste, of course, money, obviously, because I'm not rich yet. And I don't want to waste, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just being a pussy. I don't want to go and gag at the dentist. But also, I just don't want to waste all that time. Like, bro, like, my next appointment is next Wednesday, July 1st, which is in a week from now. And I'm, like, debating, should I go? Should I wait? Should I do? I don't know. I'm leaning towards I don't want to go yet. Yeah. That's my whole month, man. Dentist. 9 cavities. And maybe a crown on my front tooth because of my composite bonding. Like, what the fuck, right? And then, not only that, right? She said 9 fillings, 1 crown. And she was like, oh, you should take your wisdom tooth out. 2 of them. Or however much wisdom teeth that you have. And she's like, and right after that, she's like, maybe you should also I recommend you doing braces and your 6-month cleanup. Like, bro, like, these ladies are trying to, like, maximize my dental insurance. My dental insurance is Hawaii Dental Services, HDS in Hawaii. And I only have about $1,000 on that Hawaii Dental Services. And I already used a lot of it for the composite bonding, my x-rays, and also for my dental cleanup. So, like, this lady trying to and she's like an independent clinic too. Like, she's the only dentist lady there. So, like, I don't know, man. She got to get money somehow. So that's the business side of it. But also on the holistic side, it's like, do you really have, is it that serious to do the cavities right away? And I read a lot of, like, Reddit forums and shit like that, and subreddits where they're like, oh yeah, I went to a dentist, and the dentist that I went to, they say I have 14 cavities, and then I said, whoa, that's kind of bullshit. And then they went to another dentist and they got a second opinion, and they're like, oh no, you only got, like, you don't even have cavities, or you only have one, but that one is like, oh, you can monitor it and it's not an emergency. So, like, there's always different perspectives, but of course there's the holistic side. There's always the the dentist is where they're like, oh no, every little cavity is like something that you always gotta fix right away. It could get worse, but it's like, really, does it have to? Like they over exaggerate, right? Because they're like, you gotta stay on top of that. Or there's also the business side where they're trying to make money off of you. They're trying to maximize your insurance, make you pay out of pocket. Each filling, 3 fillings, right? I have 9 fillings that I have to do. 9 fillings. 3 fillings is $300, I think. So I'll be paying almost $1,000 for 9 fillings. A crown, insurance only covers a percentage of it, and then the rest you have to pay out of pocket. I'm pretty sure a crown is like $1,000 as well. So that's like, let's say $2,000 already. And then, get your wisdom tooth put out. That's another 1,000, right? Wisdom teeth is not cheap. I don't know what they pay per tooth that you take out. So that's like couple grand right there. Braces is obviously not fucking cheap. Another couple grand. So, and I already paid about $82 out of pocket for doing my composite and also for my dental cleanup. So, and that's already, my insurance already went. I don't know how much the insurance can cover for that already. I don't know how much the insurance, out of the 1,000 that it was used. So I'm like, what the fuck, right? Like, what do I do? Do I just stick with my Uncle Harry's and my holistic way? Should I go and just talk to the dentist and be like, oh, can I just talk about the x-rays and see what is most important before I jump the gun? It's like, bruh, it's like these damn dentists, man. I don't know, man. I cannot trust these Western dentists and these doctors. Sometimes you're like, is it serious? Like, for example, guys, right? Is it serious? What's a good example? Let me get some water. Okay. Let's talk about doctors, right? So, let's say, because I had a lot of gut issues the past 4 years. So, say I went to a Western doctor, and I remember I went to this old Filipino lady doctor right by my dentist too, right? And I remember I went in. It wasn't for my stomach, but I went in because I had an ear piercing in my ear that was stuck. So I had to go to my regular doctor, right, my pediatrician, and I had to get a physical. She said, okay, let me do a physical. She weighed me, and I was like underweight for my age, right? I'm only 5'4". Let's say, I'm not say 5'5" because I like look a little bit taller, but I'm 5'5", and my weight usually was like 120. But that time I got sick, I lost a lot of weight. So I was like 100 pounds, 105 pounds, right? And I was super skinny. And she was like, oh, you're very underweight for your age and for your height. Like, you're supposed to be like 130. I'm like, what? Okay. Well, I had a stomach virus. And, I lost weight. And even when I eat, it's not normal. Like, I can't eat normally. I feel bloated. I feel fatigued. I feel sick. I can't eat normally like I used to. And she was like, okay, well, then I'll refer you to... what is those doctors called? Those that specializes in stomach and gut health. The guys who do colonoscopies. I forget what it's called. But I'm going to refer you to a specialist that focus on stomach stuff. So I'm whatever, fuck, whatever. And she's like, you can go downstairs, you can do a blood test, you can see, whatever that you're allergic. I'm like, oh, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Let me just do the physical. I got to go take out my ear piercings. I don't give a fuck about, oh, yeah. So if I went to a doctor that focused on gut, he can do so much that he wanted to do, and maybe he couldn't find anything. Maybe his last resort was, okay, maybe we should remove your spleen, or maybe we should remove some organ that is related to your stomach to make you digest better. And then maybe we can put a tube in you to feed you so that you can digest the food. I don't know, right? Some bullshit like that. Because they couldn't find anything. Whereas... holistically, right, when I started going to acupuncture and doing Chinese medicine the past 3 years, that's the last thing that you would want to do. Remove an organ or remove something or do something that you don't want to necessarily do it and that you don't have to do 100%. So acupuncture, right, when I started going, just poke needles in me, take Chinese herbs, drink hot water, change my attitude, be positive, and my gut was healing. I was like, whoa, okay, cool. Easy fix, right? Lifestyle, right? Easy kind fix. I didn't need to take out a gallbladder. I didn't need to take out a spleen to make my gut feel better. I didn't need to do all that extra shit and do things that is destructive to my overall health. So it was like that kind of stuff, right? You could have used different ways holistically and also just like natural ways to heal, and even simple ways, bro. How hard is it to poke needles? How hard is it to drink hot water and ginger? How hard is it to drink Chinese herbs every night? How hard is it to change your diet and stop stressing out so that your stomach works 100%? Or, you know, work your way out of fight or flight mode and go and rest and digest so your stomach operates better? Or go for a walk or exercise or train. How hard is it to do that, right? It's not hard, right? And my gut started operating better. I didn't need to remove an organ and do extra dumb shit. And so it was simple fixes. Same thing with your teeth. Is it really necessary to do 9 cavities? Like, is it big? Is it destroying my teeth right away? Is it frozen? Just because it's showing on the x-ray, is it really necessary to do it? You know what I'm saying? Or is there alternative ways to freeze the cavity, to prevent the cavity, to strengthen your teeth without having to get a crown, without having to do fillings, without having to waste a lot of money and gag at the dentist? Maybe I'm just being a pussy because I hate dentists. I don't know, man. But to me, there's different ways, and like, you just gotta do your research, guys. Like I tell you guys, there's always alternative ways to solve your solutions, especially when it comes to health. Not even just with health, but just money, your business, your problems in life. There's always a way, guys. Always a way. Open your mind. Stop being small-minded and narrow-minded. Open your mind. That's my last lesson for today. Yeah, that's my little dilemma. I'm like, what do I do, man? I don't know, man. What you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know your stories too about dentists. Like, did you go to a dentist and the dentist said, oh, you had 14 cavities, and then you went to another dentist and they're like, oh, it's no big deal. Like, what's your experiences with that? Or like, is there other experiences where you were diagnosed with cavities and then you did something and then you went back to the dentist and they're like, you don't really have that much cavities. What happened? Like, let me know what you guys did in the comments down below. I'm kind of curious, and we can talk and conversate about that because I'm very interested. I love health, and I love just like alternative ways into solving problems. I'm the type of guy, I'm the non-traditional guy. If you tell me to go to college to become rich, I'm not going to go to college. If you tell me to go to the doctors to get a flu shot, I'm not going to get a flu shot. I'm going to go somewhere else. If you tell me to get cavity fillings, I'm not going to do my cavity fillings. I'm going to go somewhere else. If you tell me, oh yeah, college the only way to get money, I'm okay. Is there other ways to get money? Oh yeah, this is the only way. This is the only way. Like, no, there's other ways. Trust me, my boys. Okay? Trust your boy, 5K. Because I'm not a dumbass. Okay. Okay, boys? Oh, fucking A. Shit. I'm hungry though. But it is late. It's time to sleep. Fuck, I keep missing a stair on that. Shit. Fuck, I keep fucking up on that. Okay. What the? I broke myself down. Because sometimes I gotta kick back and just enjoy the game while I make content, you know? What an interesting game, though. Okay, I'm gonna go switch the map. I'm sure get some XP elsewhere. Oh, 2:22 in the morning. Oh shit. I gotta go up. I gotta get up early. That's so I can take my girls work. Let's go say school. Mogs, what are you on? Go build a little bit, and let's go. Get some XP and let's go up. Okay. Oh shit. Ah. Yes, but yeah, we grinding. Ready, watch this, guys. Hi, Stitch. We go up soon, okay? Hang on. I know it's late. I'm sorry. Hey, no. No, don't hit the cord.
Like my girls be so fine. One plus the nine. I get me joint, might just dance for me, dance for me, dance for me. I like my girls be so fine. One plus the nine. I get me joint, might just blow it. I like my girls pretty in the face. I like my girls be so fine.